Good afternoon. Hi, this is Steve Armstrong with Smith Associates Real Estate. I am here today with Owen LaFave with the Bank of Tampa. He's the marketplace president for Pinellas County. So, Owen, thanks for meeting me here today.
Thanks, Steve.
Just really wanted to get some insight into the banking market and the real estate market here in Tampa. Give me an idea of what your day's like, what you're doing, how things are in Pinellas County.
Steve, again, thank you for spending a little time with me and having a conversation. So as part of my role as the Pinellas County Market President for the Bank of Tampa, I oversee any and all operations in Pinellas County. Also bank-wide, oversee commercial real estate as well as marketing. So that allows me to get a pretty good insight as to all aspects of the bank, what's happening in the business community as well as the commercial real estate opportunity. And then the marketing side's the fun piece where we get to go out to the market and tell the story about the Bank of Tampa and just the things that we are doing in our community. And it's what I can tell you right now, I mean, we are blessed to be in Florida. So a lot of the parts of various pockets of parts in the country are starting to see a pullback in commercial real estate values and some occupancy. And so thankfully, I mean, we're really not seeing that here in Tampa Bay. We're seeing some things slow down and everybody says like we're returning to a more normal environment. But for the most part, I mean, we've got great employment. We still have 100 people a day moving to the area. So any indication right now is things are very good.
Yeah.
The business community is thriving, and I will tell you, in St. Pete, not too dissimilar from Tampa, but we think about all the growth that's happening in the community. You think about everything that's happened at Water Street, Midtown, as well as what's exciting is Daryl Shaw and the prospect for the
Sure.
Gas Works property to kind of tie in Ybor to downtown. But also part of the growth story is what's happening in downtown St. Pete. And I was joking the other day that the pelican is the official bird, and we're going to trade that in for the crane because I mean there are cranes everywhere in downtown St. Pete, including our parking lot at 200 Central. So it's an exciting time. A lot of inventory coming to the market, both multifamily, hotel, about 150,000 square feet of office. So it's a great time to be in Tampa Bay and in St. Pete and certainly Florida.
Absolutely. So we've heard a lot of news lately in the banking world. Why don't you kind of bring us up to speed on how you would see that and how is that addressed in your market?
I'll tell you, so as it stands today, it's early April, and the last few weeks have been very interesting with the closure and failure of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank and Silvergate Bank. And really what caused that, I mean, there's a number of things that happened, but
Sure.
The really historic increase in interest rates resulted in their bond portfolio being underwater and also not having sufficient liquidity. They are, of course, this is Silicon Valley Bank. We're very much tied into the tech industry. Tech industry has come on some hard times, so they were already seeing some deposit flow, and that's not unique to them. I mean, what we've seen in the higher interest rate environment is that consumers, I mean, like you and I, who's gotten 0% in their checking account and savings account for the last 10 years, all of a sudden can now get a decent interest rate. So people are moving their investments to money markets and buying treasuries and just looking for a little more yield. Well, them in conjunction with some of the outflow from all the tech companies that they banked had a liquidity crisis, sold some bonds and did so at a loss, and that freaked out their customer base. And what's great about this day and age is that technology allows us to move incredibly fast. Well, for them, in this case, it was a detriment because those funds, I mean, there was an old-fashioned run on the bank.
Right.
So they lost $42 million in 6 hours, and that was Friday evening.
Wow.
They had another $100 million scheduled to come out when they opened on Monday morning, and so that's why the Federal Reserve stepped in, and that, in conjunction with the Treasury, have put some additional stop measures in place. And so, as it appears today, I mean, I think the banking system appears to be fairly calm and stable, and there's been some flow of money to some bigger banks, but also recent news is that community banks have been a beneficiary of people trying to diversify their banking relationships and moving some funds around so they're within the FDI secured limits. And certainly we've been a beneficiary at the Bank of Tampa.
So, Owen, how is Bank of Tampa different than banks like Silicon Valley Bank?
Steve, we're different because I mean we're a community bank and we're invested in our community, and so all of our folks live here, they work here, and we understand that the deposits that we take in, our deposits, are deposits of our friends and family, and we want to make sure that we're making good, prudent decisions and doing what's in the best interest of our clients and making sure that we're making safe decisions and investments. And so I mean, we stick to what we know. We stick to our knitting. Typically owner-managed businesses and people that are local. When you bank with the community bank, again, all that stays right here within the community. So, I mean, we aren't doing anything silly. I mean, we don't understand crypto. Crypto is volatile. We stay out of it. So just kind of good old-fashioned risk management, being prudent, being diversified, and sticking to the things you know. And that's the people and relationships and businesses that we've banked here for 40 years in the Tampa Bay community.
That's great. The Bank of Tampa is well known as being the business bank of Tampa Bay. So
We are. That's the way that's the way I like to think about it.
So, Owen, you've got great experience from Tampa. You've been here for so many years, and then you've also been over in St. Pete, Pinellas County, work-wise. Kind of give our people an idea of the difference between the two communities.
What's fascinating to me is I did spend most of my working career in Tampa and at various banks. I mean, I did cover portions of the state outside of this area, and this has been home for the last 30 years. And even though we're right next to each other, two very much different communities.
Sure.
What I do love about the Tampa Bay market in general, I mean, is we're welcoming, we're opening. It is a place that invites people from all over the country and all over the region to do business. And so unequivocally, I can say that both sides are very welcoming. We've got a little bit more of that Midwest feel that
Absolutely.
they say because of the I-75 corridor, and so we're a little more approachable, a little more friendly than the East Coast is, who's got a lot of the influence from the folks in the Northeast and have a different culture, and nothing against that culture, but it's a little different here. St. Pete has just got its own unique vibe.
Absolutely.
It's got just this fantastic international art scene. Very much has branded itself as a tech hub, and I think they're making that happen. I kind of aspire to be the next Austin.
Sure.
And I think we've got a lot of momentum in that area, and it just has this kind of speaking of the Austin, who their motto is, you know, like let's keep Austin weird. I don't want to say St. Pete is weird, but it's got this vibe, it's got a funk, and it's got just
Absolutely.
a unique identity of its own, and really tries to be just local and different, and you feel that in the business community, and maybe a little bit more so because it's slightly smaller.
Sure.
It does have this feeling of everybody in the business community, and certainly in that tech space and real estate space, trying to help each other and lift each other up. So it's just a very inclusive community. It's got great energy, maybe a little more casual, a little less corporate than Tampa is. But certainly, I mean, it is a great and growing and exciting market to be a part of.
It's definitely a good dichotomy of two different cities that are similar but uniquely different. Owen, tell us what you got bank-wise over there. Bank of Tampa expanded into Pinellas County. How many offices? Where are your offices?
So we have 3 offices in Pinellas County, and we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary.
Wow.
One of the things we like to say too, and it's a little bit of tongue-in-cheek, I guess, but the bank is getting ready next year to celebrate its 40th anniversary overall. And during that period of time, within the Tampa Bay market, we are the longest tenured bank with the same name. So
Nice.
40 years ago, Bank of America wasn't here, Wells Fargo wasn't here, Chase wasn't here. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we've been that stable, private-owned community bank that invests in the community and values our relationships for the past 40 years. 10 years in Pinellas County. We just celebrated our 5th-year anniversary in Clearwater. So that encompasses our footprint there, and then we've got 13 offices footprint-wide, and so we're the Bank of Tampa. We're very much the Bank of Tampa Bay. I mean, we're a regional bank because we now have 2 offices down south, one in Sarasota and one in Lakewood Ranch, as well as a loan production office in Pasco County. So, I mean, we're truly a regional Tampa Bay bank.
Good. Well, Owen LaFave from Bank of Tampa, I appreciate you taking the time to share with us a little bit about your experience here at the Bank of Tampa and Tampa Bay.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks. Have a great day.